We are live here in Vintage Story. Right after my last episode, with my house being surrounded by a whole bunch of drifters. Because we currently are in medium temporal instability.
How long are you going to be streaming?
I was planning to stream for about 2 hours, but my kid was asking how long I'm going to be streaming. Alright, let's see here. Where that down time is... let's see here. It's right about 8 p.m. We'll just go ahead and sleep for the night. Get this over with. See if the drifters clear out. They are loud. I'm going to have to adjust my... I might have to adjust my volume here. Oops. Give me a second. I'm going to do that real quick. There we go. See if that volume's a bit better. Part of the reason I don't really want to fight the drifters too much is because my sword's about to break and I haven't had a chance to make a new one. Like, it literally has just 4 hit points left. Let's grab my torch. It's 4:30 a.m. basically. That's not a drifter. What is that? That's a shiver. A shiver out there. Where is he? Is he on my roof? No, he's over there. Twitching. Kind of shiver is he? Oh, that's a boat horn. Don't want to deal with a boat horn right now. They're making this really hard for me to do my mining and shipbuilding that I was planning to do on this episode. I really need to finish this roof. Several things we need to do today. From finishing my roof to mining and looking for iron, because my last 2 attempts at finding iron have just been atrocious. No success. I'm going to have to go mine some copper as well. And I see some people joining the stream. Welcome. Welcome. Feel free to ask questions in chat. As the description of the stream says, once I can get out of my house and away from the hordes of drifters that have been surrounding my house, I'm going to be mining and trying to work on our sailboats on this stream, is the plan. That shiver is not going to go away, are you? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Get bad shiver. Gotta thin some of these critters out. Out. That boat horn is not taking no for an answer, is he? What's that boat horn? Oh, hello. Alright. Fell into the drifter pit that I've accidentally created behind my house here. It's almost 6 a.m., so most of them will clear out. The boat horn will be the big exception to that. Alright, I need... Can I make anything out of these? Let's see here. Because some articles of clothing you can, like, cut into strips. I guess not. Alright. Okay. I guess I could use a little bit of my flax here to get some bandages, heal myself up. There we go. Not really what I want to use my flax for, but I am just too injured at this point to go outside. Alright, that's one. Also, if you notice, my health bar now has that little green bar showing the healing that I'm getting over time. That's one of the recent changes they made in the last update. They just came out, like, this past week. You know? There we go. We're good. I'm curious if it stacks with itself. Let's see. It does. Okay. So I can just Go and use all 4 of these bandages to get my healing going here. Go. What am I doing food-wise? I am going to need some food, too. There, between me and my pantry. This is part of the reason I got to work on getting some better light sources here. It is 6 a.m., so we're going to head out. Because I think they should, for the most part, not be spawning anymore. Alright. The spout's ready, so we'll take that. These turnips are ready, we'll take those. I believe the turnips and spelt use different nutritional values. Nope, they don't. They use the same ones. Onions, are any of these ready? Well, let's go ahead and get some flax then. I always need more flax. It's a little late in the season, really, to be planting flax, with it being September, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get one more harvest. Let's see here. I'm gonna move these spears into my inventory so I have a free slot on my hotbar here. Wow, these guys are just like stuck in there. Maybe if I open this door over here, maybe they'll leave. Okay. Nope, they still seem quite adamant about attacking. Even though it's daylight. I think these two are killing each other. Ow. Come on. You're gonna be aggressive about it. There. All of them? Oh, there's a boat horn. Oh. Okay, he's apparently mad that I shot him with my bow. Come on. Get out of my house. Jesus. Alright. Now that we've eliminated the threat of the critters in my house, this comes back to just poor house design. I don't have enough lights to prevent them from spawning in my house. This just replaces some of the linen I just used to make bandages. Not all of it, but some of it. Yep. Okay. Close that door up. Let's do a little bit of cooking real quick so I have food for the day. How many turnips? I got 5 turnips. Alright, here we go. Go. We're just gonna do some porridge with some turnips here. Nice simple meal. Let's grab a little bit of heat there for the fire. There we go. Alright, let that cook. I need food anyways. Alright. And so, my plan is, I'm going to go over here and mine out this surface copper node that I found over here. And there's another one over here that I want to get. And then I would like to keep looking for this magnetite vein that's over here somewhere. It's kind of my goals for today. And then I also want to work on the sailboat, which I think the next step I need is going to need... What is that tool? Let's see here. It's this tool here. I'm going to need like 2 of these here. So we're going to need some of those, and we're going to need some planks. So let's grab the stuff we need that. We'll grab 2 of those. We're going to need... Do I not have any planks? I'm out of planks. I think I'm out of planks. Oh, that's alright. We'll go ahead and grab the 2 twine we need. Where'd my food finish? There we go. That way I have some food to carry around with me. Get the bowl to eat for breakfast here. There we go. Oh, I might need another second helping there. There we go. Alright. Let's go put our leftover food away. So something I actually recently learned from one of the other YouTubers who plays this game is that this door actually provides less insulation to this cellar than if I was to fill this in with blocks. I didn't realize that. Because apparently part of the calculations for the cellars is how much natural light gets in, and the door lets in more natural light than blocks do. So that's something I might have to consider. I've also heard, like, putting in, like, a hallway or other darkened area. Like, unnatural light's fine. Like, torches, lamps, things like that. That's all perfectly fine. But natural light from outside is apparently a problem for cellars. Just this little thing I just learned, personally. That's not what I wanted. My sticks. Sticks. This is my stick box. Gonna need, like, 4 of those. So I had a bunch on me. Alright. And... Yep, alright. So that's the pattern I need. I think I needed 2 of these. Alright. And I'm just going to grab my saw. And take it with me. And then we got some birch, because I was building this out of birch. So let's go over there and finish up this section of the boat first. Get these tools out of my inventory and all that. And then we'll start our mining project, I think. That also lets us figure out what else we need for the boat. But how's everybody doing out there today? Doing anything interesting? Alright. Well, keep seeing stream numbers go up and down, but that's alright. I'm gonna go work on this boat. Not let it get too up, rabbit. I also need to start hunting at some point. The other thing I really need to do is get a chicken farm going. I think that'll be my next major project after I kind of get the iron situation taken care of and find some iron. Alright, let's see what we need for the boat here. There it goes. Okay, so it's 16 planks, and just 2 of those tools, just like I thought. Alright, so let's get the planks. I'm just going to go ahead and turn all those into planks. There we go. So we'll put these here. These here. We'll do the planks. Okay. Do I need them all in my hotbar? Is that just what the deal is here? There we go. So yeah, I needed them all in my hotbar. Alright, so now I need more planks. So let's do that. There's 20 more planks. And then we need 24 more planks. And 28. So I need more birch logs. But there we go. We're getting there. A lot of planks and a lot of, you know, linen that we're going to need in the future. Especially as we get to the point where we're putting on the sails. Here's a birch tree over here I can go take down. I need some more of those planks. Because I really want to get this boat ready so we can use it to make some long trips. Particularly to the north where, you know, we know the Resonance Archives are. Which is part of the reason I want the iron, so we can have iron tools and weapons and armor for that. And then, also because I want to do some more sailing south to see if I can find other crops and things. And then, of course, there's this whole area over here we haven't explored. And I kind of want to continue going around to the north, see what's on the north side of this island we're on. It'll also be easier to do trading runs with the sailboat. Carry lots of stuff with us to go sell. Kind of my idea. Because for those of y'all who are joining me here, one of the goals I've kind of given myself for this series, beyond just completing the storyline, is I want to get a double chest full of rusty gears. And I want to do that mostly by trading. There we go. 16 more. And 32 more. I'm going to need a lot more boards. I forgot how many boards go into making these sailboats. It's crazy, the amount of boards you need. This is also only like the second ever sailboat I've made, so, you know. That's a thing. Like, part of the reason I'm not super familiar with every step of it. But I'm also going to build it entirely out of birch, so. This will help me use up some of the stuff in my inventory here. Alright, got some more birch there. We'll go grab another birch tree. Also slowly clearing out this area. We know we got a lot of wolf spawns in this area. There we go. Also keep an eye out for resin, because I'm going to need more resin as well. I've also been saving up fat, because I want to build a windmill over at my house. If y'all hear a little bit of noise in the background, that's just my son coming in to play some Minecraft on his computer while I play Vintage Story on mine and stream to you all. There we go. Alright. Got some portals showing up. Yeah, the activity level's going up. I also can mark this resin tree, because resin is like gold at times. Alright, so... And also those who are new to the stream and the series, this is a vanilla Vintage Story playthrough where my goal is to complete the story all the way through to the end, which I've never done on any playthrough at all. So we're going to try and do that. Now, obviously, today we're doing things to work on preparations towards that goal. I'm currently on the hunt for iron, and I'm also working on building my sailboat. Right now, we're working on building the sailboat. So, welcome everybody. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and thank you all for coming to the stream and joining me on this adventure as we work our way through it. Let me go and convert these to planks real quick while I'm sitting there thinking about it. There we go. Need lots of planks for my sailboat. And then I think once we get the hull done, we start working on the mast, I believe. This is where I'm building my sailboat. Over here. It's not too far from my house, which is back over here. And I kind of use that trader as like a little guidepost, so that I know that's where I just park my boats. So there's 32 more planks, 36 more. Now I need 40 more. Well, guess I'm going to have to deforest all the birch trees. Alright, let's see if we can't find some more birch trees. There's a couple over there. But after we get this boat kind of to the next major stage, we're going to start the search for iron again. And see if we can't find a source of iron. Pardon me. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna get this bigger birch tree. Oh, I see a wolf over there. I'll show you all that wolf I just spotted. You can see it laying down right there in the middle. I don't know if it's the only one. I got one use of my sword left. Now, if it's the only one, and I can land both my spear throws and switch over to my bow, we might be able to take it. We'll try it. We'll try it. It's risky. And I threw short. Okay, well, we just made this harder for ourselves here. Wow, I can't even hit it with my bow and arrow. There we go. I just decided to run. Alright. So we can retrieve our spears and our arrow. Which also means he was the only wolf over here. Alright. Let's get back to our spears. They do a little more damage than the arrows do, even if they're less accurate. Okay, we've done enough damage that he's running. Let's see if we can't catch him. Alright. Oh wow. I think they've made the wolves faster in the water. They didn't used to be this fast. Alright. Come here, wolf. We're only really catching him when we're... he thought about turning around and fighting us. I am technically wearing, like, the improvised armor. Ooh, got him. And he had good weight on him, too, so he's been eating well. And we'll take all of that, because I'll need the fat for the windmill. We can use his hide to make some more leather. There we go. Alright. Now we've been mildly sidetracked by chasing a wolf and getting it out of the area we were cutting trees. Let's go back and finish up what we were doing on the sailboat there. Actually, let me go ahead and get the boards ready because I'm going to need them when I get over there. The hides. There we go. Boards. There we go. Throw these down there. Cool. Alright. Back to the sailboat. I also got the saw, or not the saw, but the forks out of my inventory. As I just caused a cave-in. Look at that. Ah, man. You gotta watch where I'm running. There's a lot of instability in this area, I've noticed. That I've been kind of wandering in. Alright. So here we are back at our sailboat after getting rid of our local wolf. We need 40 more planks. There we go. Now we need 44 more. Good thing I went ahead and cut down extra trees. There we go. And now we need beams. Right? Is that what I'm seeing there? Yeah, beam. Support beams. Alright. Let's go. Make some support beams. Oh, goodness. I keep forgetting all the different materials need to make these things. Again, it's only my second ever sailboat, so not crazy surprising. But support beams means we need some more logs, and we also need our hammer. Let's look at this small tree here. Okay. I'm not too worried about cutting down lots of the birch trees here, because I do have plenty of birch seeds back at home in my chest. I can always plant some more. Alright. Alright, that one's bigger than I thought it was. How are we doing on space? Yeah, we still have some space. Alright, let's go see if we can't find one more birch tree, I think. Or these two here. We'll do both of these. But again, I see lurkers in the chat. Feel free to ask questions, give opinions, thoughts, etc. Here to hang out with you all while I work on this project and my Vintage Story playthrough. There we go. And let's grab... We can grab one more. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I see some flax. It's ready for harvest. There we go. Cool, let's take this back. We're going to go take this back and get our hammer so we can actually do some support beams here. There we go. At some point, I do plan on build like a small road between basically my house and that trader's location over there. I've been slowly working on the paved path. That's what that is there. I'm going to make it a bit better looking in time. But this is the start of what will be the road between my house and the trader. I haven't decided where I want to go, if I want to just go straight across here and then up. Or, which I actually think I might do that. I might just go straight across and then up this way. Give me your thoughts on that, chat. What you all think I should do there with that road. But let's see here. I'll put my seed away in here because I don't need to carry my birch seeds around with me. Go. Alright. Put my fat and meat away. And got some soaked small hides. I'll go ahead and soak these. Let me go and scrape this small hide while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Just got to keep that leather constantly processing. How many more scraped hides? I do. I have these large ones. Do these huge ones first. They will produce a lot more leather. There we go. What about in here? And we have some leather in here. There we go. We're going to have to refill this bucket. Alright. There we go. Put that in there. Then, do I actually have enough? Hold on. Yeah, I do. I have enough for one leather backpack. There we go. Alright. Let's see if I can't get that sorted. Is this empty? Yes. There. We'll put our extra goods back in here. There we go. I'll go plant that flower. We've got our first leather backpack, folks. It's a step in the right direction. And then, here you go. Bees have some more flowers. How we doing? Everybody happy over here? That one's harvestable. Harvestable. So what I think I'll do, I think I'll break this one. There we go. Alright, do I have enough? 1, 2. No, I don't. I'm gonna have to get some more cattails on me. Okay, that's fine. To make a shep. Hey, Army Bacon. Yes, it is leather backpack time. How you doing, Army Bacon? You doing good today? Alright. Go put these honeycombs away. I don't need to actually store them in my pantry, but I am, just because I can. Go grab some of my cooked bush meat here. My character hasn't had any protein in a couple days. There we go. Alright. Now, I needed the support beams, so let's go in here. Get my torch out. Just put it in my offhand for some light. I need my hammer. Go. Hammer. Logs. Axe. Debarked. There we go. Then to make the support beams, it's just the saw. Okay. And my saw now. There we go. I don't remember if that's enough support beams. We'll find out, won't we? I'm going to throw my extra back. I'm going to throw my extra linen sack in there. Actually, can I dismantle my linen sack while I'm thinking about this? Can I? No. Okay, so I do have to just deal with it existing. Alright, well, I'll probably just take it and sell it to a trader at some point. There we go. Let's go find out how many of these leather... or how many of the support beams I needed for my sailboat, because I'm working on the sailboat today, Army Bacon. That's what we're doing. I'm also then going to be doing some mining after I get my sailboat, at least as far as long as I can. I might even be able to finish it. We'll find out. Oh, hello. Drifter. What are you doing out here? Okay, is it drifter o'clock? Is that what I just learned? I guess it's drifter o'clock. Me without a sword right now, that's going to be real awkward. Okay, back in the house. Yeah. Oh, they followed me fast. Where are they? I heard you right out my door. It doesn't seem like it's that late. Yeah, I need to finish this roof. Do I have any more? I found like a stash of shingles somewhere the other day in one of my chests. So I'm just seeing if I've got any more. Maybe not. Maybe I used them all. Actually, that'd be an idea. You know, crazy thought. And tell me what y'all think. Putting in a skylight there where that hole in my ceiling is. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take some of these here. We're just going to do that real quick. So how many do I need to fill this in? I need like 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 12 at a minimum. Alright. There's 12. 12. Alright. We're going to fill in the skylight. I'm tired of it being empty. There we go. Oh, no, I was going to need more than 12. Okay. Well, you know, it's better than it was. Because, actually, what I can do... How much... Yeah, I can just make some more glass. Alright. The only reason I'm even stopping to do all this is because I'm tired of drifters invading my house at night. Okay, we'll just put that there. And I'm gonna go... What's my ratio here? It's melts into glass, right? 4 pieces, so we'll do control to add. That's 20, so that'll give us 5 glass, which will be more than enough. Alright. Then we could just go ahead and do the full 4. That we got it. Gonna put that on there. I grab 6 pieces of charcoal. There we go. And now we light it. There we go. Yep. Cool. Glass. Alright. So that'll let us finish our roof. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and eat our character's dinner. There we go. He's all fed. And we've got... I'm going to make just a few extra support beams while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Got 44 left there. I think it's this, and then we take the hammer like this. Yes. There we go. And then we take these and the saw. Yes, there we go. Alright, I'm going to go put the saw and the hammer up for now. And then, actually, since it's nighttime, I need to do a little smithing anyways. We'll grab this. I'm going to grab an ingot. I'm going to grab 1 charcoal. Put it in the forge. Put the ingot in there. Grab our torch. Because I actually didn't put it down yet. Light our forge. And we're going to make a new sword. Because, you know, I'm going to need a sword. These bones away here. Yep, see, the drifters are already out and about. This is why I need to finish sealing this in and get some real lights in here. I could use some of my bowls and fat to make some small lamps. That actually might be not a terrible idea. Or just wait for this tin bronze to heat up so I can use it to make a sword. Hopefully. As I keep an eye out for drifters being sneaky. Ah, welcome back. Yeah, I'm just doing a little smithing. Yeah, I've been pretty good. How have you been, Army Bacon? There we go. Out. 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 There we go. Good lord. Me just burning myself with an ingot because I'm not paying attention. So let's circle this around. And we're gonna knock these down. There we go. But yeah, I've been pretty good. Just been doing some work around the house this weekend, Army Bacon. Oh, you're going to medieval times tomorrow? Nice. That'll be a lot of fun. I've never been to medieval times myself. I have been to a place called the Dixie Stampede, which is like the medieval times, but a lot different of theme. Oh, oh, uh-oh. Out of my house. Nope. I think they allow cameras to some extent. I don't think you can necessarily record the whole show, but I do think you can, like, take pictures while you're in there, stuff going on, because there's usually, like, you know, a bar and a hangout place before the shows start, if I remember correctly. But I've never gotten to go to one of the medieval times specifically. I'd love to go, because that's totally right up my alley, and I'm sure my wife would love to go. And my kid would probably enjoy it too. But you have to tell me all about it after you get to go, because I want to hear about it. It sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Same, I want to go there for some reason.
Yeah, see, there's my kid in the background if you heard him. He wants to go. These drifters are not going to go away. Oh, hello. Okay, this is getting a little... They're fighting me for my ingot. Yeah, see, this is why I gotta finish the house. Nice. Yeah, truck axles are actually a really good metal for forging, especially since I think, in general, they're on the higher end of the carbon content. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've had to deal with like using car parts. I know leaf springs are really good for making like knives and stuff out of. Y'all are between me and my sword now. Maybe if I let them out. We're gonna come out here. Ow. I hate Bighorn. Yeah, I wanted to drag a tool. Wanted a tool to drag up a bush. Root bulb and all. Yeah, that's a good thing to use that hook for. And an axle should be plenty strong enough to do that. There's a bowthorn down there. I've had to pull out root bushes before. Oh. These drifters. These drifters, yo. One at a time. Yeah, so when I was a kid, my dad wanted me to remove a whole bunch of bushes from his yard. And we ripped some of them out, bulb and all. Okay. Come on. Come on. I will reclaim my forge. Get out of my house. There we go. Okay. Now that I've had to fight my forge, or the drifters in my house again. Alright. Oh, we got another temporal gear. Nice. Okay, we don't want to put that down. That one's full. Oh, we'll just toss it in this box for now. Alright. Okay. Now I have to reheat up my ingot. Yep. At least my bloomery's done, so I can finally seal this in.
Hey, Dad.
Yes, son.
In Minecraft, I'm pretending I'm Santa Claus.
Okay, bud. Oh, nice. You have a new apprentice for your forge? Very nice. Someone who just wanted to come and learn? Nice. Yeah, I used to have some apprentices back when I was forging consistently. Yeah, you really should. There's a book out there you might be interested in, Army Bacon, called The Art of Blacksmithing by, I think it's Alex Bueller, if I remember correctly. Um, it helped me out a lot when I was learning to blacksmith and get my forge and all set up. So if you don't have a copy, you may want to look into getting a copy. They're kind of hard to find these days. And blacksmithing is very rewarding. I very much have enjoyed my time as a real blacksmith. So, and I'm always happy to talk to people about it too. Make a larger stone forge. Nice. For stationary ones? Yeah. You can. So there's a couple tricks to that I do know. And basically what you're going to want... Yeah, I've built a bellows before, and if you want to build a bellows, there's a couple ways to do it. Um, I think it's called well, I just call it a double bellows, or double chamber bellows, there we go. Where basically, when you pump the handle to pump the bellows, you, it only moves the bottom chamber, but it inflates the upper chamber through a valve in basically a center board. And as the gravity pulls down on the upper chamber, it slowly but constantly blows out a pressure, air pressure, to keep your forge working. So you don't have to necessarily pump as much and constantly. In case y'all want to know how to make a double chamber bellows. I get distracted talking about it. There we go. Alright, well, now I can put the hammer away. Yeah. I need to feed my character again. Put these tongs away here while I'm sitting there thinking about it. There we go. Yeah, I've lost my copy of that book, though, sadly. Of The Art of Blacksmithing. Which, really kind of annoys me because it was given to me by my blacksmithing master, the guy who taught me. He gave me my original copy. Don't want to fight you, Boathorn. Did I get him? I did. Alright. Is there a video on building a bellows? Yes, I believe there are. And if not, I know there's several instructional on it, because that's how we did it. We found an instruction on it. And it was me and my father and a couple of our friends who worked together on building it. And you can use leather or treated canvas for the sides of your bellows, by the way. And we used like a heavy double-layered canvas for ours because we didn't have enough leather, because I wasn't buying like a half a cow just to make my bellows. Though that would have been cool. It would have also been expensive. Yeah, what I might do is later on when I'm not playing Vintage Story, I might see about finding a video on building the bellows, and I'll like toss a link in the chat or in the comments or something. How's that sound, Army Bacon? Alright. I finally have my support beams. Yeah, we could do the Discord thing. Give me a second, though. I only needed 14 of them. Alright, there we go. But I needed 14 more, so I'm glad I brought extra. Now it's back to planks. Go. I'm glad I made all these. Okay, there we go. So there's all that. Now we need ropes. So, we're most of the way there. Now we're working on the masts and sails. So that's going to be a lot of ropes and a lot of linen for our sailboat there. Alright. Alright, I was going to grab that flax that's over here that I saw when I was hunting the wolf. That'll help me with the linen I need for the sails. And I'll have to grab all these cattails too to make the ropes. A lot of grinding in making a sailboat in this game. There's like an offbeat in the music there, and it's confusing me. Makes me feel like I'm hearing something sneaking up on me. All these cattails to make rope. That's something I haven't done a lot of in my life, making rope. Anyone out there made like a lot of rope in their life? I've done it like once. And it was not a large amount of rope, it was a tiny amount. And it was a lot of work. And I couldn't do it again if you asked me to, like right off the top of my head. I'd have to like read about it. and research the process. It wasn't exactly great quality rope I made either. Yo, how we doing on cattails? Well, we're getting there. All right. Could have brought my knife out here to get all these cattails. That would have been the smarter thing to do. And faster too. There we go. Got some more. Cattails is one of those things you kind of never really stop needing. Alright. Alright, how are we doing there? That should be enough to make the ropes we need, or some of them anyways. Gonna make a bunch. Go. Alright, so that'll make us like... That'll make us 10. I feel like we needed 12, though. I think that was what it said. 12. Let's go find out. Let's go find out how close I am. That's right, this is that sky iron node I found over here earlier and didn't realize I'd been walking past for who knows how long. Let's see here. That's blackcurrant bush. It's flowering. And then the copper surface node that I'm going to go after here at some point. Oh, that's something else I've changed. The small bones now just give you small bones. You can't get like the big handle bones out of them anymore. Where's that surface copper node that I found earlier? Yeah, it's like right here. This little patch right here. We're going to mine this out in a bit. I've just gotten kind of focused on building my sailboat. Oh, bye, rabbit. Alright, let's see if I was correct in that it was 12 ropes. My luck is going to be like 20. 17 ropes. Okay. Well, I was close. Alright. Back to go get some more stuff to make more ropes. A lot of this making ropes and boards and stuff. While dodging these temporal rifts. At least you don't need, like, iron or anything like that to make the sailboat. One of the things I'm definitely going to do during the winter, I think, in this playthrough, I'm going to move all the cattails into one area so I can just have, like, a cattail field. Because you don't have to grow them in the water like this. I know the game spawns them around water, but they'll grow anywhere. And the game will allow them to be planted. It's pretty much anywhere. They're, like, not specific. It's great. So you can actually set up, like, huge fields of cattails to make your life easier. And so that's something I'm going to do probably during the wintertime when I don't have a lot to do as far as, like, farming in the game goes. I'll probably take all these cattails and use them to make a big field. So that come spring, I'll be able to just go through with my scythe. Yes, son?
Dancing I'm a villager mailman, which is where I go to villages and give them packages.
Okay, bud. My son's playing Minecraft, for those who are wondering. And that was him in the background telling me he's pretending to be a mailman in Minecraft and he's giving stuff to the villagers. Isn't that just adorable?
Okay, this villager will get emeralds today.
And he's specifically giving them things like emeralds. The kid's such a sweet kid.
First package done.
Alright.
Oh no, I need to save this villager.
Is there something wrong? Why do you need to save the villager, bud? Okay, I guess he's not going to tell me why he needed to save that villager. But anyways, I had Army Bacon on here. Anyone else out there hanging out in chat?
I am.
I appreciate that you're hanging out in chat there, son. That's great. Thank you. You're not really talking to the rest of the chatters if you're hanging out in my chat, bud. Oh, goodness. He's not actually hanging out in chat. Yeah, I hope they had the Rivers to Vanilla as well. That would look really cool. Army Bacon. I have not played with the Rivers mod, but I've heard like a lot of really good things about it, so I want to see them add it. Maybe less rivers going... Yeah. Going through mountains, but, you know, make them massive canyons or so. Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm kind of actually... I kind of want to generate a new world at some point, just to see... It's one of the major changes they made in the 1.21 update that just came out this last week. Is apparently it changes terrain generation a bit. In theory, to make things more smoother, so you get less of those like sheer cliffs like you've got over there. And I kind of want to generate a new world just to see if that's actually true. And see what that looks like. Now, in theory, because I've upgraded this world to the new version. So in theory, I should see that in new chunks that I go to. Which is part of the other reason I want to get the sailboat going, so I can actually do more traveling to see some of this new changes and stuff. No, they are cool until you get stuck in one you can't see. Yeah, okay. That's fair. As I said, I haven't tried the mod, so I can't... I don't know how well it works, but that does sound awful. Getting dragged by the current into drifters. Constantly hunting cattails for ropes. It is my life now. There we go. Okay, that should be more than enough cattails to get the ropes I need. Okay, I'm also going to need a little bit more birch. And I put my... No, I still have my axe. Okay. Thought I'd put my axe away there for a minute. There we go. Alright. Can't go put the seed away, though. Hey, man. Enjoy playing 7 Days to Die with your cousin. I may actually add 7 Days to Die into my rotation for videos and streams. But if you're going to head out to play 7 Days to Die with your cousin, that's great. You have fun. Spending time with your family is very important, in my opinion. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, we got some more flax. Yeah, plant something to replace that. Parsnips. Parsnips will be my best choice there. There we go. Anything else ready for harvest? No. Ah, you don't know when? Okay. Are these onions ready for harvest? Grab another flax. Let's see if we can't get another flax in. There we go. But yeah, actually, make time to play with, like, my kid and stuff on different games and things. Oh, there's nowhere to sack it in there. Okay. Oh, I'll be the first flax in there. There we go. Cool. Are y'all using any mods on your 7 Days to Die server? Or game? Let's toss these in here for now. There we go. I do need my saw, though. Do need the saw. There we go. Okay. Now we should be able to go do the next stage of the sailboat. Got plenty of rope. Plenty of boards now. Also, how are you feeling about some of the new changes to 7 days tonight? Not just increased XP and longer time between hordes. That's perfectly fine. Like, I feel like the 7 days can be a little rough sometimes. How do you feel about the new changes with like the traders and stuff that people have been talking about? I don't know like a whole lot of the details as to like what's different, but I've been seeing people talk about it quite a bit. There we go. A couple extra ropes there. Cool. Nope, need one more. Oh, I have the ropes. They just weren't on my hotbar. 10 more ropes and 21 linen. Okay. Ah, goodness. Oh, there's the ropes I needed. Well, no, I need a few more. Okay. More ropes, and then all the linen. Honestly, it's kind of funny how after 10 years it went from one of the stranger yet worst survival crafting knockoffs to a new game every update. Yeah, it is interesting, because I've heard that there's been a lot of changes over the years. Now, I wasn't in it right at the beginning. They've reworked the systems for leveling multiple times. That I knew. And added more zombie types, including biome-exclusive ones like Yetis or Bear that shoots bees for some reason. Wow, that... Okay, that is a lot of changes. Yeah, because I remember there used to be all kinds of crazy... I'd heard, like, way back, like, this is 3 or 4 years ago, there was a bunch of different zombie types, but they would just kind of hunt you down wherever you went. I saw people building bases in the desert and stuff, and it was all kind of the same. And nowadays, I've heard of the Yeti before, but I hadn't seen him, because I haven't played recently. So, the bigger ones are that water is a harder economy. Yeah, I knew that they changed the jars. I knew that. And you can't make the glass jars. Yep, I knew that. Yeah, I was aware of that change. But apparently they're thinking about changing that to where you can get the glass jars again, I've heard. Like, I saw some post somewhere saying that the devs were going to go back to that. They work very slow. Yeah, I've heard that the water is kind of like just a difficult problem. Which, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able just to make glass jars. Also, the biggest one of the two is that they made zombies fit through 1x1 blocks. Oof. Oof, that's rough. It'd be one thing if it was like a crawler that could get through a 1x1 block or something like that. But I don't know about just like any zombie or something. Yeah. Every major update, this game's not the same anymore. Yeah, I believe it from what you've been describing. Yo. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna actually have enough flax to make the sailboat. I will put all that in there and just save it. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the stuff I don't need for mining off my inventory then. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are you talking about Vintage Story or are you talking about 7 Days to Die? Because, I personally like both games, and I know Vintage Story is not going anywhere anytime soon. These have seemed very good. Oh yeah, no, I do remember that zombie crafting craze. No, and I'm also glad to see that the 7 Days to Die folks are like just still at it, doing their best to keep things going. They're a little slow, but that's all right. I'll take slow as long as they keep working at it. Actually, let me see how many of those I need first. I think I need 7. Okay. Yep. Ah. Yeah, no, I'm happy the 7 Days folks have stuck it out and kept working on it because the game's got a lot of potential, in my opinion, to be a fantastic game once they kind of decide what they want it to be. That makes sense. I don't have enough reads for that. That's okay. Okay, so we've got Pro Pick, check. Shovel, check. Pickaxe, check. Let's grab my... Where are they? Grab these. Go. Calm. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit that copper vein. It's nearby. I don't need that. I don't need that death marker. We're going to go hit this copper vein real quick. Even though it's nighttime out. It's because I want to get that copper. Because I need more copper to make more tin bronze. Because I'm going to need a lot more tin bronze at the rate I'm going. I haven't found iron yet. I want to make sure I've got a good solid supply of something as far as metals go. Alright. So it should just be... Where? Right there. They're almost dead ahead. Perfect. I'm curious where this surface copper is going to spawn here, because we're sitting on bauxite, and bauxite doesn't have any metals that spawn in it. So I'm going to have to mine, or dig down a little bit. Good, I did bring my shovel. I was a little worried I hadn't brought my shovel there for a second. I'm just going to strip off this top layer of gravel and sand. Last time I tried to dig one of these surface nodes up in, like, conglomerate stone, just a nightmare. Kept dropping sand and granite on myself constantly. Go. Get a nice little space here. I keep getting tempted to add a sluicing mod to this, just so I can get an automated panning system set up. And I'm resisting, obviously, because the goal is to do this without mods, but just because of how much time it takes panning, I would love an automated panning setup. Alright, that should be a big enough area to find this copper node. Once I knock out this little bit of gravel over here. There we go. Alright, let's get my pick. Alright, where is it? Because it's not going to be in the bauxite. So I was confused that it just even showed up here. Well, let me get my pro pick out. You'd offer to dig, but you'll be busy. I get it. Alright, that's... Nope, I need short range, not long range. Native copper, medium amounts. Okay, so there is copper here somewhere. Alright. I'm gonna knock this out before I cause another... Don't need any stone falling in on me. Alright. Okay, where are we at? So there must be like slate or something below this bauxite. Oh, here we go. Andesite. It's gonna be down in this andesite layer. Did I bring my dirt with me? I did not bring my dirt with me. There it is. We found it. Okay, what we'll do is we'll use some of these support beams I've made for making the sailboat. Here we go. Start at the top one. Yeah, I like to kind of start at the top of a mining spot and work my way down a little bit, just because it helps prevent cave-ins in my experience. Mining and blacksmithing magic weapons and armor is really a pleasant, fancy idea. You're not wrong. You are not wrong on that. And welcome. Alright. Well, that was a small node. Let's see if that's all of it. Nope, there's still some left. Okay. There's one. Might be a bit more left than I thought. Just went down a level on me. That's why you gotta check. That's why you gotta have your pro pick. Yeah, so on the whole blacksmithing magic weapons and armor, there's a mod that I plan to use on my next kind of big playthrough of Vintage Story after I finish this one, called X Skills. And I've been watching a guy named Ryan who runs a channel called Hardware Despair, and he uses it. And one of the things he just talked about in his channel is there's a skill you can get in X Skills that basically makes it so that the better job you do with your blacksmithing, you can actually make better quality tools and armor and weapons and stuff. They'll have like higher durability and stuff. And there's still one more around here somewhere. One or two more. Where is it? Okay, it's not over here. I wonder if it's behind this layer somewhere. And for those who don't know, whenever I use my pro pick like that, it checks a 6-block radius to see if it finds any within that radius, which I just found it. So it was probably like these two that are left. I mean, you don't have to live in Africa to use a pickaxe. I've used a pickaxe. I own a pickaxe in real life.
Wait, what?
Yes, and you didn't know I own a pickaxe?
No.
Yeah, apparently my kid doesn't pay attention to the tools I keep in the garage.
Or do get into the garage unless I have to.
And there you go. He doesn't go in the garage unless he needs to.
Well, that actually, sometimes I just go in to laundry with my mom.
Okay, there we go. Now we've mined this out. Alright, so this is now played out. And actually, I haven't done a density search in here, so I will do a density search. Let's do a long-range search and see if what we can find in this area. Okay, there's one there. One there, And we'll do that one. We've got not a whole lot of much of anything. Okay. Get some ladders and get out of here. The children do yearn for the mines. Look at how popular Minecraft is.
I yearn for the mine.
Even my son just said he yearns for the mines right there behind me. So, there you go. I mean, I did take my son to go pan/mine for gold the other day, and he had a blast. Didn't you, bud?
Yes, somebody has to yearn for the mine.
All right, Aaron Bacon, you have a good one. Have fun playing 7 Days to Die. There we go. We'll take our ore haul back to base now that we've mined a bunch of copper. My son's name is Steve. Close enough for Minecraft work, anyways. No, his name's not actually Steve, but, you know.
My name's Wyatt.
Wyatt, you're not supposed to tell them your name.
Sorry.
Well, now y'all know his name is Wyatt. There you go. Oh, goodness. See, there you go. Just adding those few little oil lamps helped out nicely in the house here. Okay. Let's go in here. Put the torch up there. Grab the hammer. Let's break up our copper. So we're going to get 20 per. There we go. Nice. How many ingot molds I got? I should make some more ingot molds. That's really what I should do. Yeah, I think I will make some more ingot molds. Just make it easier to make these tin bronze ingots here. There you go. But, yeah. Get these going. We'll get these in the pit kilns here. And then we'll put our character bed. And then I think we'll start working on doing a bit more mining and looking for the iron. Because I need iron. Actually, what I could do is go ahead and make another pickaxe as well. There we go. Because I'm going to need another tin bronze pickaxe before this is over, I think. More ladders. There's just so much you need to find iron in this game. There we go. And see, this is the new feature, by the way, in case any of my viewers haven't seen this since they made the change. Notice the ingot molds are red now. And they'll stay red even after we fire them, because they've now made it so that those things maintain the colors they had from the clay you used, which is really cool. Go. Grass. Where's my grass? How'd I run out of grass? I'm confused. Add grass. Okay, what's this? That's what that is. Well, my stones can go in here. There we go, because we'll need the bauxite later anyways. Oak. Where'd my grass go? Charcoal. Dry gas. Well, must have put it all away. Weird. So, grab the grass. There we go. Sticks. And then I need something for fuel. Grab some of my peat. There we go. Get some peat in here. Beautiful. I'm going to grab my torch. And we'll see if I burn my house down. And I do. I burned the house down. Okay. Alright. There you go. X. Where's my X? Well, I've finally done it, folks. I've burned my house down.
Why do you want to do that?
It wasn't intentional, son. There we go.
Well,
Save what I can.
Build a new one.
Alright. Got a fire break here? No. Bad fire. Bad fire. Stop. Okay. I think we've managed to contain it. Yeah, I actually never played Ultima Online. I've watched it. I've seen, like, people talk about it and stuff. And it's one of those things where I feel like I should play it. Because, you know, it looks awesome. Because, you know, a lot of what Ultima Online did from a game design standpoint does speak to me, from what I know of the game. Well, this wall is decided it's going to be dirt now. So that was near miss with the fire. There we go. Yeah, I've heard that. So, are you playing on, I mean, I know they have private servers these days. But I assume you're playing on one of the private servers there? Since all the official servers are long gone, I think, at this point. There for now. Go. No, I have some raw fire bricks I need to go fire anyways. So are you still playing Ultima Online? Oh, you don't play them anymore? Yeah, no, they are very addicting. Yeah, I've kind of kicked most of my MMO habit as well. Suppose the closest thing you could say to an MMO that I played recently was Dune Awakening. But, you know, I'm not sure I would call it an MMO. Like, does it have MMO aspects? Yes. But it's not truly massive in the sense of something like, say, Ultima Online or EverQuest is. Because I was an EverQuest player back in the day. I didn't play Ultima Online. And then after EverQuest, the next major MMO I played was, what was it? Good lord. My brain is not working. Brain? Come on. It was... EVE Online. Good lord. Now, I had some friends that played, like, Dark Age of Camelot, and, some of those. Alright. Shouldn't need... You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab... Good lord. Alright. I want these. Turn these into boards, because I need the boards. Grab these boards. I'm gonna put the saw and the axe away. There we go. Alright. So we have that. We have a prospecting pick. We have those two. What I'm going to do is grab my tin. Yeah, so we need, I think it's 8. There we go. No, that's zinc. That was the wrong metal. I about grabbed the wrong metal. There we go. And that'll make us 500 units of tin bronze. Beautiful. It's all fun mods were added to NPCs, got connected to AIs online, and talk like people. Yeah, I've heard about some games doing that. I've not played any of them. Yeah, I know Skyrim has that mod. I've seen it for Skyrim. I've not played with it. I have seen it. I need to make my character some more food real quick. Actually, let's see here. Grab a couple of carrots. And we'll grab these traps. And I have a lot of rye spelt, so we'll grab there. Have you seen the single player MMO game that is coming out? It's called like Aaron Shore. It gives you that like EverQuest kind of feel, and classic MMO feel, while being a single player game, complete with like the NPCs act like other PCs that you would encounter in the world, complete with you have to do like looking for group to get NPC members of other classes to come join your party to help you go on quests and stuff. A guy named Splattercat, who I follow, has done a couple videos on it, and I've been looking at it because I love that kind of classic feel. Because I do kind of miss the days of like classic EverQuest, like back in the '90s. You know, that was kind of really a big thing. And you'd have to go looking for a group, and you could stand in like zones and advertise like your skills. Like if you could cast the soul binding ritual to bind people's spawn points, you know, there's always people looking for people doing that. They'd tip you money in the game and stuff for it. All kinds of stuff. A friend of mine, who you might see on chat at some point, named like Thrakir, um, he was a shaman, I think, or druid. I forget what the class was in EverQuest. And he basically got a speed buff that he could pass out. And he found that he could go sit in like one of the major trade cities, a city called Freeport, and just sit there and pass out the speed buff to people, and they just like pay him like real money or like real and play money for it, just like crazy amounts, because it was just 30 minutes of like extra speed running around the map that they would use. So, classic days of MMOs. Kind of miss them. But as far as Skyrim goes, I do like some of the mods for Skyrim that I've seen over the years. Like there was one set I played with. It was something like a collection of like 1,024 mods that just completely changed a whole bunch of the game. Crazy stuff that they've done with it. You know, and someday when I'm like an old man sitting on my deathbed, we'll have Elder Scrolls 6. You know, right before we get GTA 6. Not that I played GTA. Actually, never played any of the GTA series. I'm not a huge fan of them. I know it's all exciting sitting here watching this tin smelt. Come on. Nope. You're gonna make me burn. You're gonna make me burn one more piece of charcoal, aren't you? Okay. Nope. I just wanted one more tin bronze pick and a couple more ingots, and then I'll set this down right here because it'll cool off. But we can always reheat it later to smelt with. There we go. All right, to the mines once we get our food. Just right there. Perfect. Food's ready. I think I can, if I remember correctly, I can do this and click on it. Yeah. Yes, actually that does work. And do that. Feed my character real quick before we go. And take a bowl of food with us. There we go. Go put my copper away. And now to the mines to go look for more, or to go look for iron. Alright. Now, I know I sank a couple mine shafts up here already looking for the iron. But we're just going to have to do a few more, I think. Now, there's also no guarantee that there's any iron up here. Just because... So I've done a lot of research as far as trying to understand how the system works, as I just fell into this cave I've been trying to avoid for, like, days. You know what? I haven't explored down here for iron. We'll take a look. Oh, there's some stuff down there. Let's go down that way. Anything over here? Oh, we got a ruin over here and some quartz. So this ruin's interesting. Ruined weapons. There we go. What do we have? Ooh. An aged torch holder. And this one doesn't say it will damage, it will break. So if we can we take this? Oh, we got it. We got the aged torch holder. It's a super huge. Yeah, okay, so you found Aaronshore? Yeah. Let's see what's in here. We got a ruined spear. Some sticks, we'll take the sticks. Another ruined spear. And the miner belt. Nice, we can go sell that. Ruined bed. Ruined ladder. Ruined tool rack, empty tool rack. This is just like a bunk room. There we go. Interesting. But I'm exploring this cave to see if I can find some iron. So we've got this quartz. When you see quartz stains like this is also where you'll find things like gold and stuff. So like I could do a short sample here. Actually, let me do a short range sample. Come on. And we'll see. Just quartz. It found silver, though. We got silver in here. But sometimes in these caves, you'll also find, like, little bits of exposed iron. We got splint. No, you're not wrong. Like, Aaronshore could easily become very addictive. If someone's easily addicted to that MMO feel of things. Yeah. I kind of wanted to explore this a little bit, but I'm not really prepared for exploring a cave. Alright, so let's head back this way. See if we can't get out of here. Yep, made it up there. Perfect. But so we could dig in here and we could find silver in this area. Alright, so we looked in there. We went over there. This is the only place? Did we look in both these directions? Yeah, we did. Okay. Let's work on getting our way out of this cave. So we'll have to mark this as like a nice cave to maybe come back and explore, I think. Where's my cave entrance? There it is. Like, that looks like that could be interesting down there, and then this is just a straight shot down to that same area. Not really sure there's a good way down into here. And I've got ladders, so if if worse comes to worse. We got more of this quartz, which is probably that same vein we were looking at on the other side there. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in that area that we were looking at before. But that isn't what we're here for. We don't need quartz right now. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little path out of here. Yeah, no, I prefer single-player games myself, for the most part, these days. Mostly from the time thing. I just can't commit to, like, big MMOs anymore. This is where I fell in before. Alright. Yeah. Like, I've got friends that still play, like, MMOs and stuff. But, no. I don't have time for it, especially since I have a kid and a job. And now I'm making, you know, YouTube content and stuff. You just run out of time really fast these days. Okay. So I sank a shaft down over here previously looking for iron. Yeah, there's that. Matter of fact, there's a shaft right there, so this one goes all the way down to the mantle and nothing. I'm actually gonna put like no, do that. We're gonna do this. Just put like an X on there, like no iron. There we go. Alright. So that was our best reading, was over there. Which was like right here. So yeah, we sank a shaft here. No luck on the iron. Right, just here. That was chicken. Okay. Oh yeah, Dark Souls is crazy. I've never actually played enough Dark Souls to be particularly good at it or anything. I think I'll just sink a shaft right here real quick. It's far enough from the other one that if I missed iron, I'll still find it. Over here. Actually, that's not what I want to do. There we go. There we go. That'll give me some more letters. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends that enjoyed the heck out of Dark Souls, though. But I've never gotten very far into it. So have you played a lot of Dark Souls? Gonna keep working my way down here. We'll start taking samples once we get down to about, on my coordinates thing, once we get down to about the 80s. We'll start looking for samples. Because I think it's like 85 is as high up as iron can spawn on World Gin as far as height goes. We partially completed it. Yeah, no, that's part of the reason I never really played it. It's like, I enjoy games, and I like them to have some challenge to them. There's part of the reason I like Vintage Story, because it's got the survival challenge, and I like survival games. But I'm not for a game where, like, the whole point is just to lose. The closest I come to that is Project Zomboid. Because in Project Zomboid, there's no end. The end of the game is your character dying eventually. You know, which I'm fine with, because they've made it very clear at the beginning that that's the expected outcome, is that your character will die at some point, and then you'll start a new character. And that's fine with me, because that's the expectation of the game. But games where you're supposed to be able to win, and you basically can't, that's not really me. What have we found here? Oh, I've mined into this cave over here. With nothing to really block this off with. Just throw that there, so they can't just come in here. I knew there was a cave over here. Yeah, I know that it's just crazy hard. But I also know that there are people who do, like, no-hit runs of, like, Dark Souls and stuff, like, just all kinds of crazy challenges they give themselves. Well, that was not what I wanted to do. Hello, Deep Drifter. Yeah, he's too far down for me to get to. Ow! Get to me, though. Get. Go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, well, I will... My reward for this mine is I get some flax. Alright, here we go. Oh, this is interesting looking, like, just tiny little cave. Go. Alright, keep working our way down. You have to be careful of that cave when I come through this mine shaft. Alright, we're down far enough. I'll probably take a reading after this next little chunk here. Alright, so let's throw that down. And what I like to do is go out like 3 or 4 blocks here. And then we'll get our tool out, and we'll take a reading, see if we find any iron. No ore nodes there. Right over this way. Nothing. Alright. I feel like this is gonna be my life on these mines. It's just... you keep looking for iron, but nope. Oh, we found some. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We actually found iron, folks. It's in this direction. Oh yeah, there's some crazy stuff AI is getting good at these days. Like, the filters that it's being able to do and stuff. It's crazy. Alright, let's take another reading. Now that we've gone about 5 more blocks this way. Large amounts. We're really close to it. So we should actually see it in just a moment. And the question is, I don't know if it's above us or below us. It could be even straight ahead of us. Alright. Alright, let's do one more. You know, AI is going to change our lives quite a bit. Okay, bets on whether it's above us or below us. So let's go up a little bit. I hate mining up. Mining up is so dangerous in this game. Alright, we're just gonna go up. Alright, when we go this way, the answer is... it's above us. It's up there somewhere. Okay, so let's go back over here. Oh, hello. You got a deep bow torn and a surface bow torn. And... alright. So we're gonna have to be really careful in here. I don't even have the space to carry iron on me. Okay, good to know. Alright, so what we're gonna have to do... okay. I've been in this cave. That's hilarious. Alright, so we're gonna block this off here. Do that. And that'll keep... and there it is. It's right there. Huh. Hilarious. There's the iron I've been looking for. So we've got our first iron strike. So we'll come down here. No, we don't want to... we don't want to delete the reading. We want to do this. We're going to do that. And what's a good color to make this? We'll go kind of this gray. No, that's not going to say no. We'll do the brown. And we'll go iron. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now we gotta drop some of this stuff here. And you know, we're gonna drop the stones. I don't need the granite. I don't need the andesite. Okay. Goodbye. Oh yeah, no, I love Factorio. I only recently got into Factorio, but I have friends who have played a lot of Factorio. And I'm actually going to be adding it onto my channel. I'm going to be playing some Factorio. I'm also going to be playing Star Rupture when that drops. I don't know if you've seen my Star Rupture video. But Star Rupture is kind of a factory game. It's not quite Factorio. Well, I mean, I don't know. It may be Factorio, like... but... oh, stream. Sorry, did not realize. It's alright, David, if you're a little late. That's cool. We had a few people come in. You missed Army Bacon earlier. Army Bacon came by. But Army Bacon's gone to go play 7 Days to Die with their cousin. And now we've got Asun here, Asun Beck. I'm not sure, am I pronouncing your name right there, Asun? Been sitting here chatting with me about different games. But we finally found iron. That's what you missed so far, David. I'm in my iron mine here. That I've finally found iron in. Now it's not a particularly rich iron mine. It's a large one, but it's not rich in the sense of like the ore quality is not high. That's fine. That's fine. It'll get the job done, and that's what matters. Gonna throw out these rocks I don't need. There we go. Yeah, no, David plays a lot of games with me, and I know David, like, in real life. He's super chill. And plays a lot of interesting games. Like, David's a huge Dwarf Fortress fan, for example. Yep. Alright. Just gonna keep mining out this iron. What's impressive is actually I'm not losing any temporal stability in this mine, which is nice. So that means I can actually stay down here a long time. And, like, fill up my bags with iron. I feel like there's more iron over here. Yep. It's gotten into the point where it's actually above me. I need to... Before I do something dumb here, I'm gonna brace this. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Red Alert 2 is amazing. I loved Red Alert 2. And that's why you brace. Otherwise you end up with cave-ins like that. I should make sure I have my exit out of here. Okay, good. Still got my... The other game I also played the heck out of was regular Red Alert 1. Oh man. So we're getting 15 units of iron per chunk. Got 64 chunks. That's nice. Alright. Back into the mine. I'm gonna break out some of this collapsed cobble, or this collapsed stone here. And then I'm gonna have to do some bracing. There we go. Do that. And then we're actually going to do something across here as well. There we go. Nice. Okay. So tell me about the Renegade series. I've never actually played Renegade. It's a first-person shooter of Red Alert 1. Ooh. That I could get behind. Get in some more support beams there. Nice. I mean, Havoc sounds like it's a lot of fun there. Or that game sounds like it's a lot of fun. Renegade there. It's an odd game. I'm definitely hearing a lot more, like, monsters down here. There we go. Alright, I think we've gotten all the mining done I can do for now because I'm running low on supplies, but still, that'll be a lot of iron for us to take back. And we know there's more iron in here. Gonna toss out these stones that I don't need. See, you heard that terrifying sound in there? There's monsters behind that little cave I made. Oh, that up here. There's some up here. There we go. So we have iron. We've officially reached the point of iron, so now I can take all this back to base. And we can start processing it, which means we're going to need a lot more fire clay, actually. It's a good thing I started processing those fire clay bricks I had made up and got them going. Yeah, I'm going to have to look up Renegade on, and look into it, because I was a huge fan of the Red Alert series. So I played Red Alert 1, 2, and 3. Weirdly, I never played, like, the Tiberian series. It was similar. Alright, let's see here. What's this? It's maple. Okay. Almost back to base. Yeah, I knew it came out first. Oh, the other thing you missed, David, is I finished my roofing project. I ran out of shingles, so I just filled it in with glass. Because I was tired of drifters dropping it on me while I was trying to do stuff. Anything over here ready for harvest? My spelt is ready for harvest. But it can wait until the morning. Alright. Yes, my kilns are done. So we're going to grab up my fire clay bricks. My ingot molds. There we go. So now I can actually make more ingots. There we go. Alright, grab a little bit of charcoal here. That's the other thing I'm going to have to work on at some point, is making more charcoal. Yeah, I did have the invader just dropping in on me issue there for a bit. It was a real problem. Okay, let's see here. Let's get my hammer, because I'm going to need that. Actually, I should put some of this stuff away first before I start doing things. Oh, that's the other thing I got, David, that you missed, is I got a torch holder. So this handy dandy torch holder, which I actually have the materials to make a torch. Here we go. There we go. Now I can light this torch. And then I can take this and go put it in the torch holder. And normally, a torch will burn out on you, right? In this game. It only lasts 48 hours, but as long as it's in that torch holder, that torch will last forever. So now, we have a permanent light in the house. Found that in a cave a little while ago. Okay, good. Characters all topped off. Let's find some place to dump some of this stuff here. I'm getting way too filled up on things. Like, I don't know what to do with these ruined spears. Yes, the torch holder is indeed witchcraft. Fear my powerful torch holder magic. Oh, man. Hilarious. Okay. There we go. Is that full? That is nice and hot. Oh, wait, no, I need to leave that there. I grab my tongs before I do something dumb. There we go. Okay. There we go. I just wanted to get my tin bronze out of that crucible while I was sitting here thinking about it. Now... you want me to explain pinecone magic? So pinecone magic is this terrifying thing that is often used in role-playing games where they use basically a magic pinecone / MacGuffin to do things. The most interesting experience I've ever had with this was at a LARP that I played in. This is what David's referring to, where the people we were interacting with, a group of, oh, well, I don't know what you'd call them, farmers, I guess, like a better term, had used quote-unquote magic to besiege the town. And they used what I called, and I termed this as potato magic, because I didn't want to use pinecone magic as the term we were using to describe this. But they literally buried a magic potato in their field to animate their crops and their tools to attack down. It was the strangest mod I've ever been on. And pinecone magic is anything like that where you're using an object that is theoretically magical to perform effectively magic. It's commonly used to make fun of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like druid or shamanistic magics in D&D games and stuff. Because, you know, they're out in the woods, like, rubbing sticks together and things like that. Alright, so that should be 6 iron ingots each. There we go. And now I should be able to put the tops on my bloomeries. Yeah, so all of that iron we mined is only going to get us 12 iron ingots. But you know what? 12 iron ingots is better than 0 iron ingots. Ah, thanks. I'm trying to explain things as best I can and whatnot. I'm glad I made that extra pick, because this one's almost dead. I just realized. There we go. Grab that. Do that pick up there. I don't need this grass real quick. Maybe I should get some more grass. Throw that there. That's what I was going to do. That was the other thing I was going to do. I was going to check. Where did I put those ruined tools? There they are. Can I do anything with these ruined spheres? Can I, like, break them down? No. They quite literally have no use. Alright. Can I melt them? If I put these in the crucible, do I get anything? Nope. There's got to be some... Okay, hold on. No, I can't. I literally haven't... Okay, they're actually useless. That's what I've gotten. Okay. You would pay me for GM advice? Oh, that's nice. I mean... I can work on putting out some gaming advice and GM advice if people want that kind of a thing. Wow, these iron nuggets and these zinc nuggets look so similar. Huh. Let's see here. Stab them a monster might be an adventure. There we go. I'm gonna make some more fire clay real quick, folks. There we go. Needed more fire clay. Cool. Alright, we'll let those run. And then I think my next project's going to be the next round of charcoal. Alright, we're going to grab that axe. And we're going to grab this axe. Put our torch in here for now. Because I'm actually going to put my character to bed for the night. So we can do the wood chopping during the daytime. How's that sound, folks? I'll also let those bloomeries process. Alright. Eat this here real quick. Little breakfast. How much food I got left? I got 3 servings left. Okay. There we go. Then I can put these boards away for now. Fuel for the forge. Yes, we need more fuel for the forge. More fuel. I also need more cattails. I just so many things I need. The other thing I should really be doing is harvesting these mushrooms. Which I think I will do, since I'm heading out over here to the trees to cut them down anyways. Because I can put these mushrooms in my cellar, for lack of a better term. There we go. Put this axe up here. I'm not getting the reference there. Will they not use a pickaxe? Nope. That's not ready. I was thinking if my pine tree had respawned any of the resin. Oh, so what is our theories about why dwarves use pickaxe or axes? So while a pickaxe would make sense and can be a perfectly fine combat tool in the right situation, they would probably save those from mining. And dwarves also need wood for the furnaces because, well, yes, you can go out and cut down, or you can go out and mine coal. Coal is technically a finite resource. And while dwarves may mine a lot of coal, depending on where they're at, you know, wood is not a finite resource. You can always plant more trees to get more firewood to make more charcoal. And charcoal, in most cases, burns cleaner and plenty hot enough for most metalworking. So that's why they have axes. Their axes are their outside tools for when they're going out to go do things. How's that? Is that a good justification as to why dwarves use axes and not a pickaxe? It's because it's just the tool they take outside with them. See, if they were in the mines, they would use their pickaxes. But since they're not outside, they're in the, you know, since they're outside, not in the mines, they're using axes. Oh, hello. I found some carrots. And take these carrots with us. There we go. And then we're going to cut down some more trees. We'll do the maple trees. I've not heard the theory that dwarf beards are masks for elderers. I've not heard that theory, but personally, I wouldn't say they're a mask. I would say they're actually an evolutionary trait. That'd be what I'd say. As someone who has a full beard, it's definitely an evolutionary trait to improve my my well-being. Anyone played MU Online? It sounds familiar, but I have not personally played that. Tell me more about it. Why is there a drifter over there? Tell me more about MU Online. I've not personally played it. Like, I like learning about new games. The 3D camera above the character old MMORPG. Okay. Interesting. Very addicting. Well, I mean, most MMOs are very addicting. Or at least the ones that made any sort of name for themselves are, we should say. Okay. I was checking the tree for resin before I cut it down, and people are wondering why I'm circling around this pine tree. God, I forgot how much better the bronze axe was than the copper axe as far as durability goes. I'm not seeing any in this one, but we're going to cut this guy down. That'll give us lots of wood. This tree's taking a while to get down. So it's a fantasy MMO. Okay. Yeah, that should be enough wood. That'll be enough firewood to get us filled up. I'm gonna have to look it up now, because now you've got me curious as to about it. Because it sounds similar to, like, Ultima Online. As far as, like, design, since it's top-down. You said it was 3D, so... Yeah, I really need, like, a door on this side of the house now. Alright. Here we go. Put that down there. Put this down here as well. We'll go ahead and split this one. Then we'll split this one. And that one. And that one. There we go. And basically, for people's information, each stack of 32 firewood will fill up one full cube, basically, or block of space. Alright, so we need a lot more firewood than that. Go. But we're close, though. Alright, so we've gotten this column filled up, which is good. So I need 1, 2, 4. 4 more times 3. So I need 12 more stacks of a full thing of firewood. No, the boars in this game are not as evil as they are in Haven and Hearth. So, for those who don't know what David's talking about in H&H, that's Haven and Hearth, which I've also played a lot of, which is another MMO. And the boars in it are absolutely aggressive. Is there any pine tar on this guy? You okay there, cat? My cat just, like, fell off his tower next to me. He's an old man. Old man. You died to a boar again? Oh, that sucks, David. Yeah, no, the boars in this are not nearly as aggressive. They will attack you, particularly if they have, like, piglets around. But they're usually not, like, fight you to the death. They usually will hit you once and then let you on your way, assuming you move away from them. Or, if there is a piglet around, they may keep fighting you if you stay near the piglet. Sorry, my wife's in here doing a bit of sweeping in case y'all are hearing that. It's okay. It's okay, dude. I'm not going to complain. It makes the channel... I mean, it proves that I'm a real person here. You know, with a family. Not just some dude, you know, using an AI or whatever. Why are we invading Pooh's forest? Because Pooh doesn't need a forest. This is now my forest. And I need the trees. And if some Lorax shows up, I got a sword with his name on it. You can hear a portal somewhere. There we go. But yeah, so I want to get this next charcoal burn started up here. That's what we're working on now. Just taking a little break from my mining since we've now got iron in the bloomeries, which is nice. And then, honestly, I just need more blacks to get the boat up and running into a better position. We're all gangster until the treants. Well, you know what? I haven't seen treants in this game, but I know they make some mods that add fantasy creatures to it. Like, I saw a mod that adds, like, dragons, for example. And, I intend to add that mod in my next major playthrough, just because it looks like a lot of fun. I don't know if it adds treants. No idea. If it does, terrifying. Yeah, but also fantastic at the same time. It's actually a good shot by something. Felt like I got shot at by something there for a second. Oh, I am out of space in my inventory. No, I don't want that. I'm just gonna eat this. Drop that for a second. No, I actually am not hungry either. Okay, what I will do is I'll plant this tree seed. There we go. Tree seed. Alright. Is that everything? Nope, I still see some more stuff caught in the leaves of this tree. That's the other thing you have to look out for. Sometimes if you cut trees that are down close to each other like this, stuff will get stuck on top of the other tree. There we go. Alright, so let's take our firewood back. I haven't seen the tree... as I said, I haven't seen anything like that, David, in this game yet. Even with mods, but it would not surprise me if that was a thing that someone made. Because there's a lot of mods for this game. And I intend for my next playthrough that I do a series on will be heavily modded. And I've already been slowly kind of putting together an idea of what I want the mods to be. And then I kind of need, like, a goal for that series, I think. Like, you know, what's my challenge / goal / you know, whatever we're doing. And I kind of have an idea that's starting to form in my head about what that's going to be. And I think it's going to be kind of a merchant-centered one, like, I like, because I like merchant stuff. You know me, I like to do merchanting. And I'm kind of almost thinking that I want to do like a playthrough where I start with no other people on the world generation, and I have to basically build places for them to live and move into so that I can have people in my world. So, like, by default, they're not there. But we can, like, get them to move in. Kind of the thought process I was thinking. And we'll have to use some mods to make all that a thing. Put that in there, put that in there, put these in there. Maybe I should harvest my crops real quick while I'm sitting here thinking about it. Okay. Parsnips. Anything else ready for harvest? Okay, it looks like it was just that spelt. So we'll put the spelt seeds away. So we'll take flax, see if I can't get another harvest of flax. 24 days. Yeah, I think it'll be tight, but I think we can get it. Alright. Because I need so much flax. Well, I'm glad you think I'm a good merchant. I tried to be. And a good GM? Well, thank you, David. That's very kind. So, for my other page people out there in chat, David knows me outside of YouTube. We used to play games together and stuff fairly often. And that's part of why he's commenting all that, because he actually used to play in a game I helped run and build. Which was a LARP. Because I've done a lot of LARPing over the years. and that's where he knows me from. He's actually played in 2 LARPs I've run, now that I'm thinking about that. Haven't you, David? Because I've run... Let's see here. And one was a buffer LARP, and one was a salon LARP. And if people don't know what the difference are, feel free to ask. I'll be glad to explain it. Alright. I'm just going to keep cutting down these birch trees. That portal is right next to my tree. You see that? That rift is trying to... You want me to do a LARP channel for advice? Oh, man. I'll just... Well, since this is all gaming related, David, I'll just see about rolling it all into here. And if you want, what I could do is add like a Patreon level where you get to like just submit ideas of things you want channels and VODs on. How about that? Let's see if I can get this tree down before the oh yeah, that rift is real bad right there. Right. I appreciate that, David. But I feel like your compliments are a little... Like, they're nice. They're lovely. Trust me. But I'm not the wisest person in the world or anything like that. Like, I'm not even the best gamer around. I mean, you watch long enough, I'm going to screw something up here. Trust me. Quote Pride from Futurama, shut up and take my money. Ah, you're twisting my arm here, David. Twisting my arm. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Alright, how about that? No promises, but I will think about it. Okay, so I'm getting 2 per... Alright, so I'm going to need a few more trees. I'm also going to need another axe. I might have to make like a stone axe here just to get the rest of the wood I need. Without having to go back and use more of my precious metals. Alright. That's you, tree. You got anything interesting on you? Are you a resin tree? Spotty, spotty. So the cool thing about the leaky logs on these pine trees is they'll actually tell you they are from any angle you look at them at. And since none of them said that they were leaking log, this pine tree doesn't have any resin on it. Why did that leave branches behind? Branches all should have broken when the tree broke. Alright. Not gonna complain though, because... There we go. Alright. How much durability I got left? I got 60. That's enough to get down 1 or 2 more trees. Let's see if we can't find a nice... I just heard something. I'm also going to take these turnips with me. My turnips. Alright, let's get down this tree. These maple trees don't have the resin on them, which is why I have no problem cutting those down. Let's see if this takes up the last of the durability on my axe. It did not. So I have durability left. Okay. That did fill up my inventory. Okay. What can I drop? Well, I can go plant these seeds here, and we will... Ah, yes, that's something else I can get rid of. Drop that for now. So we'll plant a seed there. We'll plant a pine tree seed over here, next to these turnips. Another one there. And another one there. And then we can plant this flower over here. There we go, flower. And that gets me my inventory space freed up nicely. There we go. Okay. Did I get my turnips back? I did. Alright, let's take this back. This should be enough wood to finish filling up our charcoal smelt. And I have friends, apparently. Aggressive friends. They seem... Oh, they are getting a bit more aggressive. Nope. You started it. You're gonna finish it. Nothing. Yep. Ah. Very aggressive spawns tonight. Oh, I heard a boat horn. No boat horn. Oh, 2 boat horns. Come on, let me into the house. Where are they at? Yep, there they are. They're hanging out, trying to ambush me. You all saw it? They tried to ambush me. Okay. Grab some of this firewood. One. There we go. Go ahead and grab that and the axe. Go. Okay, I think we might actually have it. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. Alright, so that's full. Yep, these last 3 will do it. There we go. Alright, that should be a nice full charcoal pit. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get that lit here. So we do that, and then I have to go outside for this part. We need the torch. We need some dry grass. And we have some firewood. What we will do, go around this side. Let's sneak up to the top of the roof here. It should be this one. There we go. We'll grab this one. And then what we... Okay, we killed him. But he didn't want to... He went down with the fight, though. Alright, so now that he's gone, we can start building a fire pit here, which is a piece of grass and 4 pieces of firewood. And we light it. There we go, and it says lit. And then we throw the thing on top of it, and we come over here. Grab all that real quick. Butcher this guy up real quick. Take all that stuff. Get our torch out so I can actually see. Make sure we got all of our arrows back. I can still hear our friend out there trying to shoot at us. That's alright. There we go. And now we've got a lit charcoal pit. And all that's done. Our bloomeries are actually done, so we can get our first bit of iron. First I'm going to go put away this charcoal. No, we're not going to ignite the blasting powder. Not yet. My god, man. That there. Alright, where's my mining equipment? We'll just throw these in here for now. No, you can't come in. This is private property. Phew. Oh, good. So that's ready. So what I need to do... One. Put the weak tannin in there. And grab the strong tannin. Gotta keep the leather making process going here. There we go. And then I need some oak logs, which are actually over here. I'm forgetting where I put stuff. I need 5 oak logs. No, 4, actually, because it's only 40 units of water. And I seal that, and that will become tannin. And then we've got these hides are prepared. Need to scrape these guys. There we go. Misheard that is bomberies. Wow. Oh my god, I wonder what making bonfires from Legends of Zelda. Oh my goodness, David. You're hilarious. Okay, so these are medium hides. There we go. Put this here until they're ready. What I can do, remember to actually pick up my hides. Just put these in here. Get some more prepared hides going. Oh, I'm out of turnip space in there. Well, the turnips can go in here. How's this meat looking? Good for 2 more days? Alright, sounds like we need to cook this meat. Time to cook the meat. Meat. Save that. I'll use some of the firewood. There we go. Alright, let's see how many iron blooms we got. Should have 12. Alright. Put away our extra fire bricks there. There's our iron blooms. Got 12 of them. So what we can do is while this meat cooks, we're going to throw in a little bit more firewood there. And then we're going to grab... We're going to pick up our anvils. Because now it's time to officially switch over to our bronze anvil for our primary crafting purposes. We're going to grab a little bit of charcoal here. We're going to grab our tongs. And we're going to grab our tin bronze hammer. And we're going to throw some charcoal in here. And now we're going to heat up these blooms. And we're going to make our first iron ingot. How's that sound, folks? Alright. Now we're probably not going to stay on too much longer. Because I'm probably going to go start working on some dinner with my family here soon. Trying to get these ingots out of the way here. There we go. Let's go see how our meat's doing here. All the way. And grab this meat here and we'll eat some of it. Oh, I picked up my bloom by accident. I accidentally picked up my iron bloom because I was looking at it while eating my meat. See? Making mistakes here. I can put this away because I don't need my picks for making iron. Same with my axe, put that away for now. Seeds need to go in the seed storage when I get a chance. And I don't need all of these sticks, so we'll just go ahead and put those in there. My stick box. I'm going to grab a little bit of charcoal here. It's only got like... Wow. That's the last of my charcoal, so I'm just going to go ahead and put one back in there for now. There we go. Just so I know it's in there. And it takes a little while for these things to heat up. But once they get heated up, they're fine. You know, I think the neighbors are trying to get into my forge. What do you think? Yeah, and I'm not surprised that it seems like there's a bit of a lag. It's something I need to work on and see if I can't figure out what's going on there. Okay, so this should be hot enough to work. And so basically what we do is we take this split option and we knock off all these bits that are black here, because this is basically like the slag. And this is like a real-life process, by the way, of how you make and process iron. You put your iron ore into a bloomery furnace, and then you smelt it down, and you get a lump called an iron bloom, which is what this is. and then you have to hammer it out. This is like a real thing here. Now, I've never actually done this in real life, even though I am a blacksmith. I've wanted to. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to do some actual, like, furnace work and make some iron blooms. It's on my long list of things I'd like to do one day. But we're getting close here. Having our first real iron ingot. There we go. Last bit. Oh, I forgot to put a bloom in there. I'm just wasting charcoal. Lord. Let me snip off the extra bits. There we go. And it's an iron ingot. And what we can do is we can just sit down on the ground over here to cool off. Move my hammer here, make this a little easier. There we go. So I'm probably going to stay on here for about 10 to 15 more minutes, folks. And then I'm probably going to call it there for this stream. But we've done most of the things I want to do. We didn't quite finish the sailboat, mostly because I don't have enough linen or flax to do so. But we did find iron, and we still got plenty of iron in the mine. It was up a lot higher than I expected it to be, but that's alright. And we've refined our first iron ingot, which is over there cooling off. And so we're going to keep working on that for a little bit while I'm sitting here finishing up the end of my stream. And I want to thank everybody that's been with me so far today. It's been great having y'all here. You know, love hanging out with you guys. I hope this is hot enough to work. We hung out and chatted, and that's what this is all about. I like just hanging out with you all. Because y'all coming by the stream really helps me out, really helps support me as a content creator. If y'all like this series, because this is part of a series, do tune into the series. Go. Just working on these iron ingots real quick. See, look at this. I've got my drifters here. They're all very excited about learning how to blacksmith. You can see them trying to watch me through the windows. That's going to be what we're going to call that, is my very excited drifter neighbors. Let me put that in my inventory here. There you go. Alright, back to splitting here. I just completely whiffed on that one. You do have to be careful when doing this, because if you accidentally knock off chunks of the iron, you could end up leaving yourself with not enough pixels to actually, like I just knocked one out there, to actually finish the ingot. Now the good news is, 1 or 2 pixels shouldn't be a problem, but it can be an issue. Now in theory, the halve hammer, which I don't have, will fix that. But as you can see, you can like knock the pixels up here and fix it there that way. Good, and get those over where I need them. And what I can do is push these up. That's those. Push these down. There we go. See, I love the blacksmithing part of this game. Oh, got another boom there. Trying to be as efficient as I can here on my fuel and blooms while I finish up this stream. So, been a big milestone in our playthrough today with getting the iron and finishing up, like, say, 80% of the boat. It'll set us up nicely for the next episode, which I'll be recording probably later tonight after this stream here. To start heading towards the Resonance Archives, which is our first story location that we have to go to. Because that's kind of my goal, is to get through the story content in this playthrough. Alright, here we go. Okay, down. Alright. That's another ingot done. There we go. So we got 4 ingots done. And I think what I'm going to do is save this last piece of charcoal here. And we'll pick up this ingot, or that bloom here. We're going to put these blooms in a chest somewhere. I'm going to throw them in here for now, just to put them somewhere. And I think we're going to call it there for today's episode. Put our hammer away here real quick. Need more tool racks in here, I think. I'll just put it on this wall. So I want to thank you all for joining me in this live stream of Vintage Story, where we actually made good progress. We found some iron. We finished up, say, 80% of our boat, our sailboat. And we did some exploration, found a cave that's got some silver in it, so I should actually mark this as silver. And we'll do a gray thing on it, just so I know. It stands out a little better. There's silver down there, which we found inside of some quartz. We finished the roof of our house to keep the drifters out, put up a couple oil lamps, and we found an aged torch holder, which is letting us have light in here. So it's been a very good, productive live stream. So again, just thank everybody for joining me today in what all we've done. And, you know, y'all watching and commenting and talking on my live streams really helps me out as a content creator. This has been Thalen McRom, live streaming Vintage Story. And I also want to say a huge shout out to my Patreon, some of which stopped by and said hi, for supporting the channel and supporting the things I do. So we'll talk to you all next time. Have a great one.